Good morning, grade 12s. Today we're going to talk about internet. For most people, one of the essential aspects of computer use is to have internet access. This is often the most important reason why people would acquire a computer. The internet is a worldwide computer network that consists of computers and networks that are linked using telephone lines, undersea cables, satellites, and microwave connections for the purpose of communicating and sharing resources. Just a WAN. A WAN is a network that is spread over a wide geographical area, such as a city, across provinces, countries, or even continents. Just quickly, internet connections. Millions of people all over the world use the internet every day to communicate. That you can even see in some of our households. Internet is a necessity. It's something that you can't go without. What we do on the internet, we chat with friends, we check the weather, we check news updates, we even have class over the internet, we buy stuff on the internet. You can see this now, especially during the COVID pandemic, how we utilize the internet. Other than the device with which you connect to the internet, you also need an ISP, an internet service provider. You also need to decide what type of internet connection you are going to use. Then ISP, an ISP is a company that has a permanent fast connection to the internet. These companies sell internet access to users for a monthly fee. So basically what an ISP do, what the internet service provider do is they simply have, let's say, 1 terabyte line, and they divide that 1 terabyte line into 4 meg, 2 meg, 10 meg, 20 meg, 100 meg lines. Okay, this monthly fee depends on the type of access that is chosen. So important thing here, grade 12, is the internet price will be determined by the package that you choose. Okay, examples of ISPs in South Africa, there are plenty. MWeb, AfriHost, Vox Telecom, Herotel, Snow Valley is one, Telkom, name, there are hundreds of them. Okay, what do these ISP offer other than internet? They offer email service where they give to you an email. Some ISPs give more than one email. They do web page hosting. So if you have a website and you want to keep it up and running, they can host that website for you on the internet. Wireless and wired connection, internet access, fax to email, spam filtering, as well as providing you with a public IP address. Now, IP address is simply an address that gives you access to a certain network or certain device. We use this for surveillance cameras, so I can just type in an IP address and I can directly link to my camera. Another thing also is for gaming. If you don't have a public IP, then your NAT type will be strict. Then you will experience lag, especially for people that likes to play games. They like a moderate NAT type, not strict. So that's also where they use a public IP. Criteria to consider when choosing a type of internet connection. Grade 12s, there are numerous things that you must take into consideration. They talk here about people who prefer broadband. Broadband is a high-speed, high-bandwidth internet connection. We want to be able to do everything online. We want to upload videos. We want to look at different websites, Facebook, video clips, name it, play games against each other. I know that in today's household, the internet is very important. I know that the more people that are on it, the slower it will be. But we're going to later look onto that. Right, what we need to consider when buying the internet, the first thing is mobility. Do you move around a lot, or can it only be at a specific place? what does your work require? Some works require to travel internationally or nationally in between provinces. Then you need mobility. Then the speed of the line or connection, how fast the internet actually is. Now, I quickly just want to talk here about the topic of line speed. Remember, if you have a certain meg line, let's say you have a 10 meg line, it doesn't mean you download at 10 megabytes per second. Okay, that doesn't mean it at all. You can take that 10 megabyte, you can make it 10,000 kilobytes divided by 8, then you roughly get your line speed. Okay, so the speed, we have an upload speed and a download speed. The download speed will always be higher than the upload speed. The download or the upload speed can be measured in megabytes per second or kilobytes per second. That is the two general internet speeds that we use. You also get gigabytes per second, but that is for advanced users, okay, or advanced internet fiber 500 meg line, something like that. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk to you about is cap. Now, you will hear cap also, the learners like to refer to it as data. I don't have any data, sir. It's actually your cap that is depleted. So if your cap is up, you can't access the internet. They typically size will be a 10 gigabyte or 8 gigabyte cap. That's important, grade 12s. When you decide what internet you want, please look at the cap. You'll see lots of packages are also advertised as uncapped or as unlimited. Okay, they are more expensive normally. And also, there's one thing that I want to emphasize on uncapped. We're going to later look onto it when I do the slideshow with you. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, so uncapped is very good. It means you have no limit, actually. Okay, the next one is shaped and unshaped. If your network is or internet is shaped, it means it gives preferences to certain services above others, where unshaped simply means everything gets exactly the same preference. Okay, so if you email, you get the same preference as what you are downloading. The first thing we're going to quickly look at is wired connections. The two that we have here is fiber and ADSL. I'm first going to do fiber. I'm first going to do ADSL. ADSL is asymmetric digital subscribers line, is the most common wired solution available today and is suitable for home use as well as small to large office or businesses. ADSL is a permanent digital connection to the internet that operates through a fixed landline. A landline is the telephone line. An ADSL modem router is used to connect your computer to an ADSL line that is rented from the telecommunication provider such as Telkom, and then they give to us their different packages. Now, grade 12's ADSL limit is a 20 meg line, okay, 20 megabytes line. More bandwidth is allocated for downloading than uploading. That's what I said. That's why your speed is also higher for download than upload. You need a higher speed because you download videos, okay, you upload an email or attachment that you want to send with a file. The cost of the connection, the cost of your internet connection includes a monthly ISP cost. So you pay the internet service provider for that fee. That's for ADSL. And you must pay the rental company that you rent the line from. Okay? You don't pay for the time that you are on the internet. You simply pay for the ISP or the data or the cap that you use, as well as your telephone calls. Quickly, I want to refer to three things here: a modem, router, and a switch. A modem is what we used back in the days, dial up a modem. Okay, they also refer to a router also sometimes as a modem. Okay, a router is what takes that the router is what connects networks with each other. So that's basically the internet. So it connects my computer or this computer network with another computer network, and then a switch is simply a connection of computers within a network. Okay, so I always use this example. I have a cat class in my school, what do I use to connect those computers? I use a switch. What I use to connect my cat lab with another teacher's cat lab, let's say for instance my cat lab is in East London, my fellow teacher's cat lab is in PE. What do I use to connect those two? I use a router. So that's basically the difference. Okay, right. The advantages of ADSL: you can make phone calls and you can be on the internet at the same time. You don't need to connect to the internet, you are always online. And then most ADSL routers or modems have the capability to provide you with a Wi-Fi connection where you can connect your tablet, your phone, etc. to the internet. The disadvantages and limitations: ADSL may not be available in the area. That's very important. Berkeley East, here where I'm currently situated, there's no ADSL, so there's no fiber, so it can be limited. The other thing also on ADSL is that the further you are away from the exchange, the slower the internet speed may be. I always tell the learners, think of a tank of water that's here. If I have a tank of water that's here, and I have households that are connected to that tank, the households that are near the tank will get the fastest flowing water, and also they'll get the most, or when it dries up, it will lastly dry up at their place. The people that is the furthest away from the tank, they will be the first people that do not receive water, and also the pressure at that point can be little. So the further you are away from the exchange point, the lower the internet speed may be. I know of people that subscribe for a 6 meg ADSL line and they sit with a 2 meg because they are far away from the exchange. Okay, and then also ADSL is not mobile, so it's fixed. You have a landline and it's fixed. Then I quickly want to talk to you about fiber. Just the advantages will be exactly the same. The disadvantages will also be the same as ADSL almost. Just fiber, it's very fast. Okay, it's like 10 times faster, more than ADSL. But also the places are slowly installing fiber. Not all places in metropolitans or big cities have access to fiber yet, but I think it will expand rapidly. Okay. Also, you need a router exactly the same as ADSL to connect to your fiber line. Okay, not an ADSL router but a fiber router, but it works on the same principle. Okay, so the advantages and disadvantages will most likely be in correlation with ADSL. The next thing what we quickly want to talk about is wireless connections. There are two basic types of wireless connections. The one is a dedicated Wi-Fi technology. I don't like to use this term, a dedicated Wi-Fi technology. It is basically WiMAX, okay, WiMAX, where we have a tower, and from that tower different households connect to the internet, and we'll show you also in the slideshow what I referred to and how it actually works. The one disadvantage of this technology, this dedicated Wi-Fi technology, is you need specialized equipment, and that equipment and installation can cost a lot of money, 3,000 Rand roughly. The existing cellular technology, the next one, 3G, 4G. I just quickly want to talk here to you about this. You can access it anywhere where you have signal. What is nice about this cellular technology is that if I have a phone and it is unlocked, that means it's not restricted to Vodacom, Telkom or MTN, you can put in any SIM card and it will work, connect to the nearest tower. Also, another thing that I want to quickly talk here about is some of these networks roam on each other. I know, for instance, Telkom roams on Vodacom. In our small town, we don't have a Telkom tower, but we have a Vodacom tower, and we work through that Vodacom tower. So we are roaming on Vodacom to get to our. So they create actually a virtual network that we connect through the Vodacom towers to the Telkom to have Telkom signal. Then they're talking about 100 megabytes per second. I know 5G is way higher than that. It's a 1 gigabyte per second. Some of the 5G connections. The advantages is that you have internet anywhere where you go, wireless internet. You don't need to have a computer, you can access it on your smartphone, your tablet. You don't need to use, there's no cables, so it's everything. You have a wide range of movement. And then the disadvantages is, all of you know, connecting on WhatsApp, video call, connecting. So if you have poor coverage, then you most likely will have slow internet. Then also the 24-hour connection to the internet can cause information overload, as you need to check your WhatsApp, you need to check your email, you need to check your Facebook. So information overload can be a problem, and also your online privacy and security can be an issue. Now, I want to quickly look at fiber. I always tell the learners the basics of internet. How it gets to your home or your office or your business. For fiber, ADSL and 5G is completely different. But as soon as it's in your house, it works on the same principle to get it to all devices. I'm going to explain it to you now. I don't want to confuse you. I want to make it as simple as possible. That's why I say how it gets to your house is different. But how it's split up and used in your house is exactly the same. Fiber, you'll see here, you have a fiber connection line that comes from the server or the exchange into your house. Okay, it goes into this modem. There's a specific name we'll see on the next slide. This modem has an Ethernet port. The Ethernet port you connect to your AP, your access point, and then you can connect your laptop or any wireless device to this access point that gets the internet from the router. You can see here is termination point, TP. So this is almost also like the server. The server, then fiber optic cable is underground coming to your house. It goes into the ONT, optical modem. So from the optical modem, then you can sometimes connect it directly to a device, but the majority of times they connect a network cable to it, to a router or a switch that creates Wi-Fi wireless network, and also have some Ethernet ports. Okay, so again the same principle. You'll see when we go to ADSL, it goes from the exchange through the copper cable to a modem, and from the modem it goes to the computers. You can have another access point in as well. This is the fiber optic cable. You can see it's totally different from the RJ45 connector pin. Remember, fiber optic cable uses light to transmit data, so it's very fast. These are different type of connectors. Okay, so depending on the speed, you use different connectors. It's not the basic one is the first one. Then just quickly here you can see, if you compare fiber with ADSL, for a 1 HD movie it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. For fiber it's 9 seconds. So it is extremely fast. Okay, you can also see download and upload speed. We use speedtest.net to see what the download speed is, what the upload speed is, and the ping. What is the ping? The ping is simply sending a message to the server and sending it back, the time it takes. The lower the ping, that means also the ping also refers to latency, the better, the less lag you will experience. We as gamers, this is very important to us. Okay, the download speed and the upload speed. You'll see the download speed always slower than the upload speed. The 4 meg line, I just quickly want to refer to you. You'll hear people say, I have a 4 meg line. That doesn't mean you download at 4 megabytes per second. Okay, that simply means you're downloading between 480 to 500 kilobytes a second. How it works is 4 meg line, the download speed is 4 meg, then you'll say 4000 kilobytes divided by 8. So each line you can divide by 8, then you can get the actual speed of the line. okay, of the download. The same with the upload. If I have a 4 meg line download speed, 1 meg line upload speed, then you can take that 1 meg divided by 8, then you'll get the number of kilobytes you can download and you can upload it. Okay, you'll see ADSL works exactly the same. You see here's where the telephone line goes into. Okay, so, and you have again your RJ45 LAN ports that you can connect either to a computer or another access point. Okay, you see this Wi-Fi have an antenna, and there you can also have Wi-Fi. There's the two ports that we normally use, is the RJ11 and the RJ45. This is the telephone port and this is the Ethernet cable port. Then quickly on the access point, grade 12, this was asked in an examination. Access points is basically a switch to me. I'm not want to say a switch, as you can get very complicated access points, but it basically is an extension of a network. Okay, let's say I have a router in my living room, but I don't have internet in my kitchen. Then I can just lay a cable, Ethernet cable RJ45 from my modem, from here, from the ADSL modem to the access point router, and then I can configure this access point to have Wi-Fi, or I can add another Ethernet cable to it. So basically, it's just, for me, access point is to ensure that even in the school, I maybe have internet access in the cat class, but I don't have it in the study hall. So what do? I lay an Ethernet cable to the study hall, connect an access point there, and then if I connect the access point there, they'll be able to access the internet. Okay, we talked about Wi-Fi technology. The Wi-Fi technology that I quickly want to refer to here is Mikrotik. This router is the one that we currently use. So basically how it works is it takes internet from fiber. There's a town near us that has fiber. It's 160 kilometers from us. It has fiber. This is that Wi-Fi technology on wireless. What they do with that fiber is they split it and they beam it to towers. There's one 50 kilometers from us, then we have one in town as well. So that ADSL, they beam towards these towers, and then at home we have this dish, the Mikrotik router. This router lets you connect to the tower on the mountain. Okay, that's 25 kilometers from us. So basically, they take fiber. We don't have access in Berkeley to fiber, but then they split it and beam it through the towers up until Berkeley. Then we can connect to the internet. Then 5G, just 5G, you can see there 20 gigabytes per second. It's extremely fast internet. People had to say about this radio waves or so. I read an article that said it's actually safe to use. They said it about 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and now they say exactly the same with 5G. Extremely fast internet connection. There's a 5G router, exactly the same as ADSL and fiber. The 5G router you install in your home is just how it gets to your home. It gets through cellular network. It gets to your home. So ADSL use copper wire. Fiber use optical wire, fiberglass, and then 5G uses cellular technology, mobile technology. So as soon as you have this in your house, it works exactly the same. There's the backside of this router. Again, Ethernet connections that you can connect, and also some of them have Wi-Fi. Okay, there's Wi-Fi. It doesn't have the antennas, but it still have Wi-Fi. So ADSL router creates Wi-Fi. Fiber router have the ability to create Wi-Fi within space, and this router, 5G router, also have the ability to create Wi-Fi in a specific place. Then I quickly want to talk to you about Shapped and Unshapped. Shapped, we talked about Shapped services and Unshapped, where we give priority above other services on the internet. The one that I quickly want to stand still at and spend a few moments with is Throttling. Now, that is where it comes in, that ADSL package, that cheap one that I've got. The problem was they had a FUP, a fair use policy. So the problem is that if you go over a certain number of gigabytes, they don't cut off your internet. They simply make it slow, because you abuse the bandwidth that is allocated to you. Okay, so that is the one point that I want to make, that I want to pick out on throttling. If you don't comply with the fair use policy, you'll see on the next page, then they throttle you, they make your internet slower. Here's an example of what's happening currently. You can see this is my data that I used from the 1st to the 17th. You can see the upload and download is 150 gigabyte. Then you can see the upload will always be lower than the download, and how much time I've spent on the internet. I'm permanently connected. Now the thing is here, I have a 4 meg line, fair use policy. If I go over 200 gigabytes, they throttle me 25%. So then I have 75 threshold. So if I have a 4 meg line, I will maybe get here roughly to 2 point something meg. Okay, if they throttle me. No, not 50%, I'm lying. 3 point something meg, they'll throttle me. Okay, so this is important. As soon as you can see, I'm 150 gig, still 85 to go. If I go over it, boom, throttle me. It's not that big of an issue to me, because I still have 75% of my speed. But some ISPs are very strict. The one that I have on the ADSL was a 40 gig for fair use